Hey everybody, I'm Amber.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're Witches Talking Tarot. And we've brought you a show all about the occult.
We're talking different lores and mythology.
Yes, creature features, cryptids, aliens, you name it, we'll cover it.
Conspiracy theories.
Absolutely.
And pagan holidays and
100%.
practices.
All 8 of them. Yes.
Spiritual living, you name it.
That's right. We've got it for you. So if you want, come sit with us for a spell and let us make you laugh.
We are Witches Talking Tarot.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey everyone, it's Courtney from A Nefarious Nightmare, back and crazier than ever. Anyway, so as everybody knows, we were taking a brief little break, and that's alright. We're humans, not robots. But anyway, we wanted to go ahead and come at you with a new episode drop from our friends at PNW Haunts and Homicides. Really excited about this one. They have a 2-parter coming up, so we are going to give you part 1 of this case series. They will be discussing episode 53, The Many Mysteries of the Ardenwald Axe Murderers. So you guys, enjoy. Much love. Don't be a dick. Wear that deodorant.
Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Caitlin.
This is PNW Haunts and Homicides.
Hi, creepy people.
Hello. Hello.
How's it going out there in the creepy world?
They're like, how do you know the world is creepy? Oh, we've been there.
I live in it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we have an announcement.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you guys. We're so excited because this is our first giveaway.
Yeah, we're announcing the winner.
Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so I will do the honors. I'm going to pull up a couple of names here.
What do you mean a couple of names?
I know. Well,
what?
we have some surprises.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, surprises.
We have 2 announcements in one.
Yeah.
It's your lucky day.
It's extra bonus stuff. All right. So, should I announce the first or the second?
There's a second place?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all.
Just a little something.
We decided we love you so much
Yes.
that we picked a second place winner for some additional little prizes.
Yeah. They'll just be a surprise when they come to you.
Okay,
All
second
right.
place winner, drum roll.
Second place winner is... Oh, I like that. Nice sound effects.
That wasn't too bad.
Who needs a soundboard?
Right?
Am I right? Kaylee!
Yay!
Come on down!
Congratulations, Kaylee, for winning second place.
Yeah.
I'll have to add like party sounds and clapping in there.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I got those fun new like sound effect things. So
Yeah. Some sound effects.
yeah, that'll be fun. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But if you could do us a super duper solid and send us your address if we've announced your name. Kaylee. Again, Kaylee.
Kaylee. Calling Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Kaylee. You have won. Second place.
All right. And now for the goodie prize pack.
First place.
Woo,
The
woo, woo.
shit ton of prizes that we put together.
Woo,
It was
woo.
soap, a candle, right?
Mm-hmm.
A birdie.
Yes.
A birdie alarm.
Yeah.
So you can stay safe.
Oh my God. What cartoon are you right now?
I don't even know. I'm channeling Jess from New Girl.
Oh, you
It's a problem.
What are you going to do? All right. So, yeah, we've got our little crystal prize pack. So we got a couple of different stones in there. They're kind of the rough crystals. I love those.
Those were so good.
The little selenite wand.
We have the party popper that's not
It is
alcohol.
not alcohol. I repeat, it is not alcohol.
We had some issues with the Facebook ad policy people. It went up the chain to management and everything.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
It was a real hullabaloo. Anyways, the only thing we want to make a bigger deal about than the Facebook police is Kara with a C.
Yay! Congratulations, Kara.
So you guys, again, if you could do us a super duper solid and shoot us your address. So if you entered our giveaway and your name is Kara with a C, if you have any doubt at all as to whether or not you are the winner, go ahead and message on our Facebook page or our Instagram page.
If you did not
TikTok
enter,
us.
do not message us your address.
Yes. So congrats on your fantastic prize packs. If you did enter the giveaway and we did not announce your name, I would really love it if you would still do us a solid and send us your address, because we would like to send you just a little something to say thank you. We really appreciate your guys' support. And while we couldn't send out a full-on prize pack to all of you, we'd like to send you some PNW stickers.
Yep. Just to say thank you, because we appreciate every single one of you who's left us a review, who's liked anything, who's commented on anything, who's shared us. You know, thank you so much. And this won't be our last giveaway. So
That's true. Yeah. We've alluded to this many, many times. Our first giveaway.
if you're crying your eyes out right now because you didn't win all the cool stuff, you still have another chance in the future.
Yes. I already have been lining up some prizes. Some of these Cassie doesn't even know about yet. So we should probably. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Also, just because this is over doesn't mean that people shouldn't keep reviewing us. So.
Yes, please continue to rate and review us, preferably 5 stars.
Please and thank you.
Okay, thanks, creepy people. Bye.
Bye. I mean, not really. We're still here. We're still talking about other stuff today. We're not leaving. Unfortunately.
I think this case will definitely make you feel better.
I feel like you're lying.
I
can see it in your eye.
Yeah. No, it's not going to make you feel better at all, probably.
Great. Well, you know, it's kind of expected when you come here.
Yeah, I get
homicides.
Yeah. This one's particularly dark. So just a heads up on that. The title, I think, will probably give it away because I've been workshopping that bitch. So here we go. You know, the only problem about doing a podcast about your neck of the woods is now you're very hyper aware of everything terrible that has happened in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. What the fuck were we thinking?
I don't know. I'm fine.
Everything's fine.
All right. On the 9th of June in 1911, a neighborhood dog begins barking in a highly agitated and alarmed manner at about 12:45 a.m., and this continues for several minutes.
Oh, poor puppers.
I know. The dog's going to be fine. Just
good. Okay.
You know,
I'm worried about it.
I know. I can see Cassie's face and she's very worried about the dog. He's fine. Everything else is really up in the air, but the dog's okay.
Also 1911. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yes. It's old timey.
Ooh.
Yes. A terrible crime occurred at approximately 12:52 a.m. An alarm clock had been overturned during the incident, and it stopped at that precise time. So that's where we kind of get that guesstimation from.
Well, I mean, unless they forgot to change it for daylight savings time.
Yeah, it wasn't that time of year. It was in the summer. So,
I mean, people let that shit go all year.
that's true. An entire family was annihilated while they slept. And brutally so, as the word annihilated probably implies for most of us.
Oh, God.
Yes. They were attacked by someone particularly devious, wielding an axe.
Oh.
It was clear that they had been caught off guard, the whole family having been asleep, because it's almost
Right?
1 a.m.
Oh, my God. That is like the worst thing I can imagine. Like when I'm sleeping, it always pops into my mind. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of things about this case that are going to be like, oh, that's my worst nightmare,
Yeah.
until I get to the next part. And then
Ugh.
that's your worst nightmare. So,
Man, actually, the other day, did I talk about how my TV turned on by itself yet on the podcast?
no.
No, I didn't tell you this. Okay. It was just a couple of nights ago, obviously, so I haven't talked about it yet. I was asleep. It was like 5 a.m., 5:30, and I heard the TV come on.
What?
And it was just talking. It was like the news or something. So I was like, there's people talking in the house downstairs. Like, what the fuck is going on? So like I
Oh.
wake up my boyfriend and I'm like, something's happening. And then I realize like it's the TV. I'm like, the TV's on downstairs. And my first thought was someone broke in and turned on the TV to lure us downstairs to murder us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's where my brain goes.
Oh,
So, ooh, yeah, it was
Yeah.
really weird.
oh my
I
god.
don't know why that happened. It was probably the Ouija board demon, but
Seriously. Oh my god.
we're not giving it any power. So it's like, it's pretty useless around here, I feel like.
Well, that's something.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Now, if you're someone that consumes a lot of true crime content, and also someone who has a decent memory for numbers and dates, your ears may have perked up right off the bat.
Ooh, mine didn't.
Yeah.
I have no memory for dates.
Well, this is a pretty significant one. It relates to another crime. So,
Oh.
but I'm literally going to spoil it right now. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
It's not a spoiler because it's just that time. Now, if you guessed that we'd be talking about the Villisca axe murders, I could
Ooh.
hardly blame you, because the Villisca axe murders took place on a Sunday, June 9th, 1912, in
Oh my
Iowa.
God. Literally a year later.
hmm
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But if that's what you guessed, you'd be dead wrong.
They're like, this is not PNW.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Iowa's a little outside our purview typically, but
A little bit. Sometimes we stretch, but not
Yeah.
that far.
yes. Whereas the case we're talking about today takes place a year prior in Oregon, obviously.
Oh.
Yay.
Yay.
So, no one could really blame you, though, for getting your wires crossed there, as far as I'm concerned, because some of those, like, Villisca is one that a ton of people have talked about, or if you've read about it, that date could kind of wiggle its way into your brain. Yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But clearly, if that did spark anything in your brain, you've been eating your damn Wheaties or taking brain vitamins, okay? Don't let anybody tell you different. I'm impressed.
Yeah, we're so impressed with you.
Yeah. But I'm just going to get this out of the way, because by now we all know my episodes are true crime.
Mm-hmm.
But this is an especially gruesome case, just because of the violent nature. You kill somebody with an axe. And unfortunately, we are also going to briefly touch on the topic of sexual assault in the case of both an adult and a child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One of those episodes. Sorry.
Yeah. Cassie's like, great.
I'm ready.
Okay.
You guys can't see my face right now, but it's a disgusted look on my face.
She doesn't look happy about it. I'm not going to lie. All right. So drink them or smoke them if you got them, whatever your particular poison is. The victims were members of a family relatively new to town. They had moved into their new home in the rural community of, stop me if you've heard of this one, Cassie, Ardenwald.
I have literally never heard of that.
Yeah. It's just...
I haven't.
I know. Yeah, I hadn't either.
Okay. I was like, I don't know if you think I'm being sarcastic, but
No.
I haven't.
No, I didn't think you would have.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they've changed the name.
Oh, interesting. I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the reason was for changing the name, but I know well enough the area where this took place to know that it is not really referred to as Ardenwald.
Oh.
It sounds like something from Narnia.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they had moved into their new home in the rural community of Ardenwald, just south of Portland, in May. So they've been there for less than a month. Hell of a welcome wagon, huh?
Oh.
William Hill was the head of the household and had built their new home himself, which I feel like that was a pretty typical manly activity or obligation back then, but I'm still impressed. Get it.
I can't imagine the work. I can't even paint my walls. It's too much work. So.
Yeah. No. Who has the time?
To build an entire house. Wow.
Yeah. Well, and some sources say that they actually bought the property with a small house on it. Either way, the more important fact to note is that their home was just about a half mile up a hill from a streetcar stop.
Aw.
Yeah. Which
Cute.
Yeah, I think super cute, which obviously was important so that William could get into town for work. So he worked in Portland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. William was a 34-year-old husband and stepfather that worked as a pipe fitter for the Portland Natural Gas Company, which is in Portland.
Yeah.
His family was originally from Minnesota. Which is a really abysmal Minnesotan accent, but
I thought it was great.
Yeah. My family left Minnesota a long time ago, so we don't have that on lock. But he had lived in Snohomish County, which is where he was believed to have met Ruth. So his lovely wife, Ruth, had lived in Salt Lake City previously, and she brought 2 young children from a previous marriage into their little old-timey blended family.
Aww.
Yeah.
It's so sweet, and I fucking hate it.
I know.
Oh.
Ruth Hill, known previously as Ruth Cowing, was 33. And don't worry, it sounds like the authorities did their due diligence and cleared the ex-husband/children's bio dad.
That was literally going to be my question.
The husband did it. The first husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, this gal, though, was pretty la-ti-da. Both her father and her brother were successful lawyers in the city of Portland, so she was reportedly the one that had purchased the plot of land that William would build their family's new home on.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Women in power.
I know. Let the women do the things.
Mm-hmm.
Teamwork makes the dream work, babes. Now, there are various ages given for the children, but I'm going with the ages from the source that I feel is likely the most reputable and accurate. People can post to blogs and Wikipedia without doing their due diligence, but the book I used in my research on this first part said that Philip was 8 and Dorothy was 5. Also, assuming their dates of birth are accurate, these are the ages that basic mathematics dictates. So there's that.
Right.
Yeah. Grab a calendar. I mean, I don't see why you'd need it, but maybe a calculator. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
And all of my reading and research indicates that William really treated them like his own children and was a very kind husband.
Oh, that's so great.
I know.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I hate that you tell us about the victims. Like, I really hate it. I wish we could just talk about the killers. Because I fall in love with these people and
oh my God.
It's really hard.
You're like, unpopular opinion.
I know.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Well, maybe this will make you feel better. Okay.
Okay.
My next line was, which, not to shit on William or steal his thunder or anything, because I think at this point in history, no one would have batted an eyelash at a guy being an awful dick to his stepchildren or even a terrible abusive husband. But like, and hear me out, okay? At the same time, can we all just agree that still we're probably giving a lot of men far too many participation trophies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, as if being a good partner or parent isn't just kind of baseline stuff. But
right. They should be doing that anyway. So.
Yeah. But I digress. Anyway, some commentary I read for the case said that the home they all lived in was built clearly with the intent to add on for the growing family. That William...
If you fucking tell me that she was pregnant when she died, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
No, it was built with the intent to add on for the growing family that William and Ruth were said to have desired.
Oh.
So he's trying to put a bun in that oven, if you catch my drift.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like he really liked kids, too, if he adopted hers, and loved them as his own.
Yeah, which is great because I didn't really add anything about this in there, but it sounds like their dad was a real piece of shit.
Oh, great.
But I do feel better when I remember that he too is dead. I mean, it's been over 100 years, so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But still. It's said that in the short time that the Hill family had lived in Ardenwald, that William chatted with his new neighbor and friend, C.W. Matthews, which I literally just think of like the CW, like the TV network.
Yeah.
But
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, exactly. So C.W. Matthews was his, new neighbor and friend that lived at a nearby family farm. He chatted with him every morning as he made his way to catch the streetcar into nearby Portland to work. He worked at the Portland Natural Gas Company, which I know we said, but apparently that was a pretty sweet gig back then. So now we can probably assume that the couple didn't have any money problems, since Ruth was from a well-off family and William likely collected a decent salary. So we're kind of trying to address some of the things that the police would later look at. Were there money problems? Was there an affair?
Right.
All the stereotypical stuff. So meanwhile, during these daily chats with his friend CW, CW would just be doing farm stuff, I guess, like milking his cow. I don't really have a ton of other examples, but you get the idea.
Farm stuff, milking a cow.
Yeah. Well, that's really the only thing that I care about. Like the cows, that's kind of where it's at for me on the farm.
Yeah.
I'm after those.
Slopping the pigs.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but I'm all about that red meat and that dairy. The dairy, milk. So he's milking his cow, which, side note, okay, so wholesome, so pure. Just like a glass of whole milk. Unpopular opinion. I know. I love that shit. It's delicious.
That's disgusting. No.
I love it. If someone offers me skim, I feel like I might as well be drinking water. And that also, that relationship is doomed. Okay?
You don't have to worry about me offering you milk.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
I know. I know.
Well, almond milk.
Here's the thing. If I'm going to have milk, I'm going to I like whole milk because I will just drink a whole glass of milk. Okay. But as you know, and I think probably literally everyone in the PNW knows now because I think I've talked about it before, but dairy doesn't love me back. It makes me kind of nauseous.
Oh, no.
So, but you can always count on me for hot takes on random minutia of a case, and you're welcome.
We went off on milk for a while.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, good luck with editing that. That sounds like fun. But getting back to our story on a non-dairy front, on June 9th, William didn't have his daily chat with CW.
Oh.
Finally, CW got to scratching his head, probably chewing on hay or something, and wondering if everything was all right. Because they hadn't seen or heard from anyone in the Hill family that day at all, actually.
Oh.
Which is pretty weird if you think about it.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not like in 1911 you're just going to pick up and like get on a plane and go on a vacation, right?
Exactly.
I don't know when planes were invented, but
well, so here was my thought, okay? I think it actually is pretty weird. It's not like they're just staying in and binge watching Making a Murderer for the third time.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
And ordering Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Like, people generally left their houses, kind of like we all did, at least sometimes, before some of us became late in life homebodies due to quarantine.
The year that shall not be named.
Seriously. So, I mean, the Spanish flu, as it would be referred to, wouldn't even hit the scene until 1918. So, again, me and CW are over here like, what gives, Hill family? Where you at?
Come watch me milk my cow.
Yeah. Apparently he needs to be supervised for that. So, Mrs. Sarah Matthews, CW's wife, which only half the source material used her name because misogyny, internalized outright or otherwise, is still alive in modern writing, I guess. But I digress for like the 11th time, but that's fine. Which I may say several more times today. But anyway, she was the kindly or nosy neighbor, depending on interpretation. She walked over to the house at the suggestion of her husband, CW, at around 8 a.m.
Oh, now, honey, yeah, they're not coming out. Why don't you go check it out?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
If it makes you feel any better, I'm pretty sure he's going to live to regret that.
Oh, yeah.
So when she does, the place is sealed up tight, and the windows are even covered with odd makeshift fabric coverings.
Oh, that's not good.
Which was odd, but not weird enough that she backed away slowly.
I would. No.
Right? I don't know. Like, if I see anything weird, I'm just like, okay, bye.
Yeah. But they didn't have true crime podcasts and documentaries and all this shit back then, so.
Sure didn't. But there's no answer at their locked door, and she can't hear the family bustling about inside, which is definitely weird because have you ever heard of a family with a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old ever being that quiet? No. Too slow. I'll answer for you. No, you have not. And that's because it has literally never happened.
Seriously.
No. So if knocking didn't work, what's an increasingly concerned, kindly / possibly nosy neighbor to do? That's
break
right. Oh, well, no, that's not right.
That's right. No, that's not right.
No, that's not right. No. Make better guesses so I can tell you you're right. Just kidding.
That was my first guess. I know where they keep the key under the frog in the backyard.
No. She peered in a window like she's Kristen Bell or something. This is one of many cases I've looked at recently that illustrates why you shouldn't look in people's windows.
Don't be a peeping Tom or a peeping, what's a girl T name?
Tina?
Tina. I like Tina better. Don't be a peeping Tina.
Yeah. Aw, Tina. Oh my God. Okay, so especially if the windows are haphazardly covered out of nowhere and you're just trying to get a look in a small gap or something, like, don't do that.
Ugh.
Be the neighbor that has a tip that pays off for the authorities, okay?
Yeah.
But don't investigate. Just get on the phone. Pronto. If I'm concerned, I'm calling a qualified professional of some sort to perform a wellness check or for emergency response. Because look, some things you can't unsee. Trust me when I say this woman is going to be wishing upon a star to unsee some things.
Oh.
The first thing Mrs. Matthews sees is little Dorothy's bloody body strewn on the floor of the farmhouse. So, big yikes.
Oh. That's the one she saw?
Yeah. The baby.
Oh, that's so awful.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'd like to introduce you to the True Crime Files podcast, a bi-weekly podcast that focuses on mysterious disappearances and unsolved murders. Every 2 weeks, we'll be releasing an episode that'll help you get to know a case really well without having to invest a lot of your time. Derived from the articles up on the True Crime Files website, you'll find that our show covers a diversity of victims and perspectives. You'll probably also notice that our episodes are narrated by Scott Fuller from the Frozen Truth and Status Pending podcasts. Be sure to subscribe to the True Crime Files today so that you never miss an episode. Thanks so much for listening, being a part of our true crime community, and helping to shine a light on cases that might otherwise be overlooked or underreported.
You already kind of touched on this, but in 1911, no one is watching true crime documentaries yet, I guess, or something. So this woman has almost assuredly never seen anything so horrific. Yeah. She is going to need some serious therapy, which unfortunately is just not going to be a thing for several decades.
Yeah.
Naturally, she comes away from that scene petrified, panicking, and screaming, as one does.
Yeah.
A fair
it's a pretty
response.
Logical response. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he showed up to check on all of the commotion because he could literally hear it from a mile away, or if someone actually summoned the Clackamas County Sheriff. But either way, he shows up. Not sure what the average response time to an emergency situation or crime scene was back then, but I'm pretty sure CW is regretting his decision to send the missus over to investigate.
Oh, yeah.
So,
not a good move.
No, not at all. I mean,
he was too
poor
busy
guy.
milking his cow.
Yeah,
he just couldn't get away from the cow.
Yeah. Whew. Lot to unpack there. The Clackamas County Sheriff at this time was Ernest T. Mass. He was elected in 1911. So I'm not exaggerating when I say this job was brand spanking new to him.
Wow.
Which is, of course, less than ideal for what would go down as one of the most gruesome murder scenes in Oregon history.
Man. What a nice like an entry prize. What am I trying to say?
Oh, his orientation was not going well.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Obviously, in 1911, this crime scene was certifiably bonks. and 100% blood-curdling, but let me just lead with the fact that his handling of the case was clearly considered a bit of a bungle because he lost the next election.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, there's that. The guy made a bit of a comeback eventually, though. He was reelected in 1925, and when he retired in 1941, he was, at the time, the longest-serving Clackamas County Sheriff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I guess
he
he's
made
like,
up for something, or
eventually he was like, hey guys, sorry, like that was my first murder, okay?
Yeah. You can't judge me on my first murder.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. But back to his bumbling throughout the case. After the case didn't just solve itself within a few days, he called the famous bloodhound, Brady, down from Seattle on June 18th.
Wow. It took him a couple of days, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but obviously enough time had passed that this wasn't a huge help. Because, I'm pretty sure like anything else in an investigation, it helps to get a jump on things right away. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. All right, enough spoilers. We're just going to talk about the crime scene now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was discovered upon entry into the home for further investigation that it wasn't just Dorothy who had been killed. But you all knew that already.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, they did not have what is now considered the conventional wisdom of our time. The husband did it. But they could clearly see that William's entire family had sadly been killed, and he officially becomes suspect number 1.
Oh.
So they didn't have the memes and the t-shirts from Etsy, but they instinctively understood that in an instance where the whole family winds up murdered in a particularly savage manner, it's probably better to be safe than sorry and take a look at the man of the house.
Yeah, especially if they don't see him right away.
Yep. Well, that didn't last long because, as it turns out, Ruth and William's bodies were just so tangled together that what had looked like only 3 victims that they had assumed was just the wife and kids was really just a very confusing and graphic amalgamation of their brutalized bodies. So,
oh my God.
Let that sink in, because obviously that's terrifying and a hell of a way to establish an alibi.
I don't want it to sink in.
Yeah, that's ideally not how you want to establish your innocence of the crime.
Oh my gosh.
Either way, now we're all having the same terrible nightmare together forever. Again, you're so welcome. I know, it's real.
I want to puke.
It's pretty nar.
I
mean, obviously a crime scene where the family is axe murdered isn't going to be pretty.
No.
But that's pretty shocking.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought he would just be in a different part of the house, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. While we're on the topic of William, let's discuss what happened to him and then, of course, the rest of the Hill family. He had been bludgeoned in the head with the blunt side of the axe, apparently killing him before he could wake to witness the beating and hacking of the entirety of the family as it ensued. Which, on the one hand, is a small mercy, I guess, just never having woken to the horror of what was happening to his family. But
yeah,
also, he couldn't do anything to protect them.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's why you took him out first.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's no good way to be murdered, but at least we can hang on to hope that he didn't suffer. And like you said, literally in my notes, next sentence, I mean, it also kind of makes sense that if you're going to try to kill an entire family in a really gruesome way, probably you are going to start by taking out the person who can likely offer the most resistance first.
Yeah. What a bad person.
Yeah, not a good person for sure. He's bad, but also not good.
If you didn't figure that out.
Yeah. In case that was in any way unclear. If that was a gray area for you, clear that up. Unfortunately, it appears that it's very possible that Ruth did wake up amidst the attack, but she stood very little chance of being able to fight off this monster. I say very possible just because the state of forensic science being what it was at the time, I think it would be difficult to state certain things like this definitively with 100% certainty. Most of the source material does say that law enforcement said that, yes, she had been awoken by the attack. I never found anything that any other type of physical evidence that more clearly explained why they thought that. So, but
I mean,
literally,
their bodies sounded so like destroyed that how would you know?
Right. And that's kind of
difficult.
Yeah, that's kind of where my head goes.
Yeah.
But literally something like this happening in the middle of the night is every woman's nightmare, I think. She was killed relatively quickly as well, with 2 blows from the axe-wielding maniac. We don't know whether the children woke up. Possibly having overheard the attack on their mother and stepfather. I kind of hope they slept through all of this, even though I think it's
so too.
Unlikely. Especially if Ruth had woken up and, if she presented any sort of resistance or put up a fight at all. I think it's unlikely that the kids basically sleeping in the same room with them wouldn't have heard something and woken up, because these older farmhouse, the style of them is that you don't really have separate rooms. A lot of them, what was common was they kind of have little partitions. So, and it was small. They were brand new to that area. They hadn't had a chance to, add on to the house for the buns in the oven. So Philip was hacked to death. So it's, blows to the body that I have to imagine probably just resulted in enough trauma to organs or enough eventual blood loss. So,
yeah.
And if that wasn't bad enough, reportedly, this heinous person kept Dorothy alive and sexually assaulted her before eventually killing her. Bloody fingerprints were found on her little body.
That's so awful.
Yeah. Police believed that Ruth was also sexually assaulted, but post-mortem.
Oh.
Gross.
So this guy is just a real fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Gross. So gross. Literally, that's always just the grossest thing. But I don't know. There's just so much gross. There's grossness to be had all over the place in this case. So
yeah,
that just gets me. The post-mortem assaults just really... Okay. We're going to move right past that.
Thank you. Let's go.
Yeah. This is kind of a hard left, actually. Reward money was raised for information leading to the apprehension of the criminal, as was apparently the custom of the day, which is kind of weird. I was picturing a very strange juxtaposition of this horrific crime. And then remember when we used to do those fundraisers in elementary school where you sell wrapping paper and flavored popcorn and shit. And I'm so you guys do a fundraiser for that? Okay. So we'll talk about that more. That's going to be kind of more so in part 2 because there's a little bit to unpack there.
Okay. Did you say this was a 2-parter in the beginning?
I didn't, but I literally, the next part of my notes.
So, okay.
Oh, yeah. And there's going to be a part 2 in all of this madness. There's actually going to be a lot of parts. You'll see.
Ooh, a lot of parts.
Oh, that's a poor choice of words. I'm sorry, guys.
Poor choice of words. She didn't mean to.
But it might take a slightly different form than some of our like typical case series have. That's all for now on that front. I'm not telling you anymore. You can't get it out of me.
What if I put a spider on you?
Well, then I will run away screaming and like light the house on fire. Right now, I just want to impress upon you the straight up massive amount of dollars and cents that was gathered for the cause. So, $1,770 in funds was gathered by a combination of private citizens and local businesses, such as William's employer at the time of his death, Portland Gas. Of these funds, $500 was to be paid for information leading to the arrest of the murderer, while the remaining $1,270 was to be paid to the person or persons that made the actual arrest of said perpetrator.
Oh.
Is that not weird?
Okay. So they're going to give the cop who arrests the person?
Well,
or unless it's a citizen's arrest?
Yeah. So what's weird about this, and we'll talk about it more, like I said, but what's interesting about this is that like in some of these smaller like outskirt towns, they didn't really have much of a police force. And like Clackamas County is still a huge county here in Oregon. But I can only imagine back then, you know, you've got like a way smaller police force. You've got still a huge geographic area that you're covering. And to be honest, you've got really woefully unequipped people doing the work.
Yeah.
So I just think it's really interesting because I think what it alludes to is the assumption is that there's a very good chance that, yeah, this may not be law enforcement that ends up apprehending this person.
Wow.
So it's kind of wild.
Crazy.
It's
very
counterintuitive to like what you would, you know, see these days. We don't have like a dual reward system where, you know, you get a reward for tip and then a reward for arrest. It's just
no way.
The whole framework.
That's way too dangerous too. Like,
yes.
It's a murderer. Like, what do you think you're gonna do going up against a murderer?
I don't know.
As a citizen.
As a citizen, he, you know, has the axe. Maybe you've got a chainsaw. I don't know.
Maybe. Like, is that legal though?
I don't think that's something we have to worry about because I don't think they had chainsaws back then.
Oh, really? I don't know when things were invented.
You know, honestly, I don't either. All right. So things were a little different back then. We'll get to it. Another $1,000 was eventually proffered by the current governor at the time. So it must have been an election year for him or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and guys, in case you're tempted to believe that the sizable reward for the time brought forth useful information and an eventual resolution in the case, this is actually still an unsolved case over 100 years later.
No way.
Yeah.
After all that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All of that money raised. But now you see why, you know, Sheriff Ernest didn't get reelected right after his first term. You're like,
that makes a lot more sense.
Yikes. Yeah. Bad news on that front. So see you next Tuesday, I guess.
Bye.
I'm sorry, guys. This case just really snowballed and we're literally so far from finished. I'm totally kidding, though, you guys. We do have a ways to go, but I'm not going to make you wait a week. They're like, I
Oh.
literally don't know, like, if she's telling me the truth in this moment. She's like, ha, bye. Just kidding. I'm back, but not for long. What?
I don't trust her anymore.
You shouldn't. Yeah, no, we're gonna come back to you guys a little bit later this week. And, we wanted to cover the crime scene and a little bit of background about this because there's so much that's just structurally, in a very systemic way, very different in terms of like how an investigation happened. And just, there's so much history, obviously. And guys, there's so many suspects and persons of interest and bonkers, bananas, bozos who absolutely confess to this. And we're going to get into that a little bit more later this week.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There's so many.
Ooh.
I literally still don't even cover all of them.
Oh my God.
Cassie's like, what did I sign up for?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it sort of makes sense if your investigation isn't going well and it's not pointing you in a specific direction that you might have, oh, maybe this person did it, maybe this person, maybe that person, that person, that person.
Guys, I looked at like all this stuff and I'm pretty sure I solved it.
I solved it.
I do think that there are some very good, I mean, I think there's certainly a couple of like reasonable like possibilities. But I'm also going to be talking to you guys a little bit about a book where the authors claim that they have solved it and they have a vast conspiracy theory that involves a ton of other crimes. And I have a lot of feelings.
Oh, I can't wait to hear your feelings.
And you know how I feel about things giving me feelings. All right. So I have cut the cards already, but I will go ahead and shuffle them up.
Shuffle, so we get that nice shuffling sound.
Oh, God. There's nothing nice about the sound when I do it. I just dropped the cards.
Oh, Caitlin.
Okay. Let's see. So this is a card that we've gotten before.
Why does this always happen?
The Hermit.
Oh, yeah, we have gotten that one. Interesting. The first thing I think of with a hermit is how they were locked up in their house with all the shit on the windows covering it.
Yeah,
Huh.
Okay, we're gonna see.
Okay. Hermit in the upright position, right?
Yeah. Which I think we may have gotten it in the reverse before, but don't quote me on that. Okay. So our keywords are guidance, solitude, inner wisdom, self-evaluation.
Okay.
The hermit is often depicted as a bearded old man holding a lantern aloft.
Okay.
A seeker after truth, he lights the way ahead for those who follow. He may look like a monk dressed in a plain, long robe. An archetypal elder character, or figure, it says, the sage of myth and legend, he radiates wisdom and functions as a teacher and guide. Sometimes he's shown looking away to what only he can see, your future. Ugh.
Interesting.
When the hermit appears in a reading, it can mean a guide figure is at hand, offering help. The card advises you to meet this guide or begin your own search for truth. Sometimes the guide figure is a person, such as a counselor, therapist, or clergy member. But usually it refers to inner guidance or getting in touch with a spirit guide. The hermit can recommend withdrawing from the busyness and distractions of the outer world to do some soul searching. Okay, we've got a little special extra in here too for this card in the book. The hermit is often linked with Father Time or Saturn. The planet astrologers connect with obstacles and lessons that come up during the course of our lives. As such, he reminds you to be patient and brutally honest with yourself as you work to gain perspective.
I feel like the sheriff might have needed this.
Oh, man. What's interesting to me about that is, remember, we talked about at the very beginning of the episode, the clock. And it's saying this is like linked with Father Time.
I just got like, oh my God, I have so many chills. Ooh.
I don't know. That might be a little bit of a, I don't know. We'll have to see what else the card has to say to see if that's maybe the...
Interesting. Well, I also picked out that you said something about a therapist, and we were literally talking about how, what was it? Peeping Tina needed a therapist afterwards.
Yes. Yeah, she was definitely going to need some therapy. Okay, so in the upright position, the interpretation says, remember the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. No, I don't remember that, and I don't like it in the context of this case so far.
Yeah.
Okay, when this card is upright, you may be looking for guidance from the invisible world. You want to gain perspective on your life, and you're open to the inner guidance that's available to you. The time has come to reunite with the source, whether for guidance, to discover the truth, or to establish inner balance.
We're literally trying to discover the truth of an unsolved case. Wow.
Okay. In a reading about money, the hermit offers guidance in a financial matter. He may encourage you to seek counsel from someone wiser or more experienced than yourself. Sometimes this card represents turning away from material things to follow a spiritual path. This is interesting because this is definitely, well, we're going to talk more about it in the next section. So I won't.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't
it.
that was one of the things, like money problems you said that they were like looking into?
Yeah. And I mean, basically the whole investigation just kind of looked for like those easy, typical scapegoats, and they weren't finding it. And just as they are today, and probably even more so back then, like a stranger killing was extremely rare.
Yeah.
Definitely more so back then, I would think.
Ooh.
If the reading is about your job, the hermit may indicate withdrawing from the hectic pace of the work-a-day world. You seek solitude, wisdom, and inner peace. This card can also mean leaving a job or a company and going your own way independently.
Not in the way that you want.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting, though, because like 2 people left their jobs, right?
Yeah, William.
And then the sheriff later.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like there's kind of some bits and pieces of each of these so far that, yeah, it's not given us a whole lot. It's given us just little tidbits.
Yeah.
In a reading about love, you may feel a need for some time alone to discover things about yourself and your path in life. The hermit can also indicate a need for more independence or self-reliance in a relationship. There's one more little short quote here. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's interesting, I think, in the context of this having been a crime where like all of the windows are covered up.
Yeah.
The door is locked. And we'll find out that that's not an anomaly.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's really, really interesting how this card just has like little words here and there that we've literally said or like have talked about, or like I feel like the definitions themselves aren't really like giving too much away, but like just the words and sayings and stuff are just like relating to literally words that we have spoken.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
As we talk more about this other book that I delved into for my research, I think this last quote will kind of maybe have a little bit more resonance because, like I say, it's not an anomaly what was happening with the doors and windows.
Wow. So we'll have to come back to it in the next.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not going to get to every single thing that I've read about or learned about through the course of my research, but the lantern that's pictured in this card is significant from another case that's believed to be part of this vast conspiracy.
What? Ooh, show the card again. Let's get a good look at it.
Yeah, our Modern Witch Tarot, she does not have a lantern in this depiction.
Okay.
But maybe what I'll do is pull from my traditional tarot deck, and so we can you can kind of see what that looks like in kind of one of the more traditional decks. The fact that it's a hermit also. Once we know a little bit more about what the suspected nature of this killer is, I think that the card seems like it could be kind of representative just based on that like archetype of hermit.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Wow. The tarot cards at the end have been going really well.
Yeah, I agree. I'm always a little bit resistant to change, but I felt like it kind of made sense to start putting the cards at the end, and I think I'm like pretty glad that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Hopefully everybody's getting super excited about the readings coming through like in a real way.
It's a little more impactful once you hear like things that we've said and then you're reading the card, and
yeah,
hopefully it's clicking for everyone else too as you're reading it. Oh, it's so fun.
All right. Well, have a creepy ass day. See you next
Tuesday. I'll be milking my cow in the meantime.
Oh my God. Not me. I will be watching The Vampire Diaries on the CW. Oh, wow. The Patreon really is getting a special treat here this week.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh my goodness. So for all of you that are listening, if you have any true crime or paranormal stories that you want us to share, maybe with the whole Pacific Northwest.
Yes, we would love to read them on the pod.
Yes, we will read them out loud.
Not just in our heads.
Yes. They don't have to be from the Pacific Northwest if you would like to share. Email us at pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. It's all spelled out, no special characters. Super duper easy peasy.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Same thing as the email at PNW Haunts and Homicides, all spelled out, no special characters. Please also rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening to, and check out our stories on social media because our meme game is hot.
Agreed.
And if you agree, like Caitlin, you can also find us on Patreon and support the show.
Bitchin'. Want like in New Girl, you know, they have like the douche jar. I want a feelings jar so that when people make me feel feelings, they have to put money in the jar, which if you think about it is a really great way to fund your therapy. But